Pagbukas ko sa folder, may bala eh. Ito, may bala. May bala, oh. Pagbukas ko ng folder niya. So will I detain the general today and file a case against him? Or will you look at the CCTV kung hawak ko yung bala, and will you look at that he's a PNP officer, he's authorized naman na may bala? I could have easily slept this, last night, iniisip ko na pagpasok nyo, lagyan ko yung bag nyo ng bala. Just to make the point that kaya nga may investigasyon. Thank you, sir. Just to make the point, sir, the police are not a stop. It's not a matter of discretion. It's findings of their investigation. You can create a committee, and there used to be a security committee. Kasi ang problema, General, siguro ang problema ng police, di ba? Pag hindi nyo pinail yung kaso, natatakot naman yung mga police, sila naman ang kasuhan. Tama po ba yan?
That's right, Your Honor.
But if it's a committee, you file your findings. Ang finding namin, OFW yan, 10 beses lumipad yan, never may dalang bala, tingin namin walang intent. And a committee of 3 people, 1 from OTS, 1 from the General Manager's office, 1 from your offices, pasakay na yan, huwag nyo i-delay. Aangal ho ba yung inyong command doon?
I think, sir, Your Honor, we will go with it, sir, kung may po.
At walang fear ang police nun na siya ang babalikan, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So Secretary, can something like that be done? So that wala nang fear yung pupunta doon. That's still an investigation. No, there's no law violated there. You are not violating the firearms law there. You are simply following the result of the investigation. Of course, pag binuksan mo, may granada dyan. The guy plans to blow up the airplane. Of course, kakasuhan mo. Hindi mo papasakayin yon. Di ba? Pero kung makikita mo lahat ng facts, 21 years yan, OFW, pabalik-balik, 70 years old yan, never, walang criminal record. Di ba? Iisang bala. Sino ba naman, everyday na sa news, magdadala ka pa ng bala, iisa pa? Di ba? I mean, that's why they said you cannot buy common sense eh. Kaya kasama na talaga sa investigasyon yun. Ngayon, pagbukas mo ng bag, there are 300 bullets doon, nakabalot, bebenta. Ibang usapan po yun, sir. Wala naman siguro dito magsasabing ganon, no? But I think that's the main point, sir, of this issue. You know, going to their cases, we can spend 60 days, 100 days investigating. But can we go out of this hall having some sort of solution or committee that if I go to the airport tomorrow at hindi ako senador, may nakita, who do I call? And can they assure me within 30 minutes, they will tell me whether a case will be filed? Or I can go because they found out na, for one reason or the other, may bala ako dun sa bag ko.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I think we need inputs from the prosecutor and Undersecretary of DOJ could help us, because it is also dangerous to give discretion down to that level. As you know, when you have discretion, there's opportunity to negotiate and likewise exploit people in the same light. So I think we should hear because we
Secretary, first of all, this is not new. During the time of President Macapagal Arroyo, they had a security committee, and the security committee reviewed some of these cases, and they did it that way, kaya hindi to pumutok. Pangalawa po, this is standard operating procedure even of the Philippine National Police. If in the middle of the night, nahuli ka sa motorsiklo, dadaling ka sa presinto. Kung ang finding sa presinto is that wala kang intent to possess o hindi, etc., pauwiin ka, hindi na dadalan sa piskal. That's why I'm saying that there's no need for an amendment of the law. I'm not talking about cases that when you investigate, you find out na talagang nagdala ng bala. Talagang may live talaga. I'm talking about cases na kaya nga iniimbestigahan nila doon na sinasabing nilagay ito. Like in one of our witnesses here, sabi niya may dala siyang isa, pero hindi siya live at amulet. Nung nalaman na hindi live, nilagyan ng isa pa.
Mr. Chairman, I think we should ask the prosecutors because they determine kung dapat bang kasuhan.
Sir, that's where I'm trying to correct you as a lawyer, no? The prosecutors will determine if the findings of the police is that it should be filed. But the police can find... Ma'am Acosta, can you help me explain that? Diba? You get that point. Can you help us explain that so we can come to a solution?
Para po sa kaalaman ni Secretary Abaya, resolusyon po ito ng Piskal ng Pasay, si Piskal Michael Vito Cruz. Dinismiss po niya for lack of probable cause. ang isinampa ng ABSICOM laban kay Joby Noblesa. Ang reason din, no animus possidendi. Isa po to, dated November 10. Eto pa po, approved po ng City Prosecutor na si Nolasco Fernandez Jr. Pagkatapos po may pangalawa pa, yung kaso po ni Nanay Antonina Agustin Rozaga, 71 years old. Ganon din po, si Piskal Nolasco Fernandez, City Prosecutor, mismo ang pumirma. Case filed by ABSICOM, dismissed for lack of probable cause. Isang bala lang din ang involved dito. Noong pong, ito po ang pinakauna na dinismiss November 9. Tapos kay Nanay Gloria Ortines, isinampa ng ABSICOM, PO1 Ballesteros, Galang, Abaya, Rosal, complainants. Ganon din, mas mahaba po ito kasi sensational yung kay Nanay Gloria. Nasusulat din po dito, in view of the foregoing, for lack of probable cause, the charge against Gloria Ortines Idumawal for violation of Section 28 of RA 10591 is hereby dismissed November 11. Signed by Senior State City Prosecutor Willie Chan, approved by the City Prosecutor Nolasco Fernandez.
In other words, ma'am, if Nanay Gloria went to the airport tonight, may nahanap na isang bala, yung investigador sinabi, 21 years kang OFW, never nagka-problema, galing kang Lawag, we do not believe na dala mo to, we will not file a case. Pwede po yun.
Pwede po yun. Kasi kahapon nga, yung magaling nating colonel ng ABSICOM, nag-motion po ako. Motion to dismiss the case. Do not forward the case to the prosecutor. OFW, pupuntang Taiwan, dalawa. Mawawala ng trabaho, balik-balik. Eh, bakit mo kakasuhan pa? Ito, release from custody, pirmado ni Police Senior Superintendent Adolfo B. Samala Jr. Upon motion for outright dismissal and release from custody by the Chief Public Attorney of the Philippines, Persida Acosta, on the ground of no intent to possess animus possidendi on the part of the intercepted passengers Saik Muran Ibobos, the motion is hereby granted. Ayan, wherefore, quote and quote, nirelease po sa OWA siya. Dalawa po ito. Kaya pong gawin kung gusto. Mr. Senator.
Yeah. Last point, Mr. Secretary, please study that. I was hoping, di ba, na you can just reconvene that committee. You would agree with me na ibang-iba, halimbawa, Granada yan. Kasi kung Granada yan, bakit mo papayagan makasakay? Paano kung yung airplano ay ma-endanger? Pero iba yun sa isang bala. And this scandal is ongoing because, you cannot just blow up the plane with one ball, especially when you open it up at wala naman palang pulbura. Kasi yung mga nagsasabing amulet, alam din nila na may batas so bubuksan yan. I know personally, asawa ng isang pulis, may dala siya. Sinabi niya, anting-anting, hiningan siya ng 500. Pinakawalan. So yung sinasabi niyong discretion, etc., that's theoretical. In reality, di ba, whether sila nagdala o hindi nagdala, it's the investigation that is important. And if you just want to make sure of security but also of safety of the passengers, you can have a committee para hindi lang isa magde-decide. So, isang security expert na taga-OTS, isang security expert na taga-PNP, isang security officer sa general manager o kung sino man, di ba? Kasi kawawa naman po yung screeners nyo. May trauma na rin sila ngayon. Kawawa po yung mga porter. Wala pong nagpapabuhat sa bag. Ang natutuwa lang po dito yung nagpapabalot ng plastic Dahil sila ang kumikita. But even them, they don't want to make money that way, Mr. Secretary. So I was hoping that we can live here with some sort of assurance that you will renew the system. Kasi sa police din naman, sir, lahat na naman nangyari, kayo na pagbibintangan, di ba? Pero kaya kami nag-file ng case under EO 226, Command Responsibility. Hindi nakalagay doon na kailangan nyo isolve. Ang kailangan doon, nag-meeting kayo at may ginawa kayong preventive or corrective measure. And that's what we've all been asking here today. Sir, anong pwede nyong gawin na bukas safe lahat ng mga tao? Walang mag-iisip na kailangan pa nila magtawag ng senador, congressman, ng PAW lawyer, etc. And by just assuring them na pag isang bala or whatever yan, kahit isang pirasong shabu, but under the investigation, we found out tinanimang kayo. But right now, sir, let me be very honest. Ang dating sa tao, ang mindset nyo na is dala nyo yan, anting-anting yan, guilty kayo. na kayong may kasalanan, dala nyo yan eh. Parang walang puwang na there's at least one bad egg in NAIA that planted that. No? So anyway, Mr. Chairman, I think I made my point, and I think the Secretary is, thinking for that suggestion.
We'll study it carefully, Your Honor,
Okay.
and implement immediately.
Thank you. So, Secretary, I take it you will look into it and take that into consideration. When do you think you could come up with an answer to your study?
Actually, my real concern, Your Honor, just to share with you, there are also some ammunition that are rim-fired. You don't need a gun to have it explode on board. A mere tapping of a hard instrument could hurt somebody, could actually, in extreme case, bring down a plane. But of course, these are exceptions to the rule. My real concern is giving discretion to a small group. If we were all angels here, we could gladly sleep at night and assure OFWs na wala po talaga masasamantala. But again, we are various people in government, and a small group that has that discretion, whether palalayain ng isa, the bad side of that, they could also exploit the same OFWs in the same way. If discretion is always dangerous, Your Honor. But again, we will try our best to come up with policies. We need help from DOJ. The Prosecutor General was here a while ago. We need help from him. If indeed we could grant police or a small group of decision makers that if they make a decision on a live ammo, pakawalan na lang, essentially is a violation of law. But as long as they couldn't be countercharged, I think they could sleep at night. But we'll carefully study, Your Honor. We'll seek the assistance of DOJ.
Just clarification. Why are we talking about live ammo versus dead ammo? Dead ammo cannot explode. Live ammo has powder. So that rimfire you're talking about, the 22, that's got powder.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is live ammo. That should not be allowed. But anything that's amulet, anting-anting, makikita mo naman eh.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that should be allowed. Now, second point, what are the rules in other countries? We're not the only country with this kind of problems.
Yes,
We're
Your Honor.
trying to reinvent the wheel. Ano pong ginagawa nila sa Hong Kong, sa Singapore, sa Japan, etc. At gayahin natin sila.
Yes, Your Honor. I think most of the things that we're doing right now is pretty much the same. Pareho rin po yung ginaganap sa ibang bansa. Just to clarify, Your Honor, kapag non-live, ibig sabihin, isang component out of the 4 is not present, ang OFW po, or any passenger, kinokumpiska lang ho yan at pinapayagang umalis po yung
Correct,
pasahero.
yeah.
Walang fine, walang kaso. Only those in possession of a live ammo na kompleto yung 4 na component ang siyang may kaso dahil po sa batas.
Alright. But pag nasa maleta nila na chine-check-in, bawal pa ba yun? You know, different kung handbag yung carry-on at kung nasa maleta.
Accordio, bawal pa rin po, sir.
Bawal pa rin.
Bawal pa rin po.
Kung nasa maleta.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, isang question ho kay Nanay Glo. Nay,
Nanay,
Miss Gloria, hiningaan ko ba ng pera? May humingi ba ng pera sa iyo? Yung
Wala
connection ko? Wala.
Opo.
Ngayon, yung trip po ninyo pabalik sa Hong Kong, ano nangyari po sa binayaran ninyo? Wala na yon.
Wala na po.
Nalugi kayo doon.
Opo.
Hindi bali yung secretary, i-refund sa iyo yung...
Sana
Para
po.
hindi ko makuha, ilirefund ko ho.
Sige.
Mr. Chairman,
I just want to clarify, Justice Acosta, yung sinasabi niyong People versus Fajardo Supreme Court case, kasi maliwanag, pagka-amulet, wala yung, di ba, there are four elements to a bullet.
Any one among the 4.
Oh, kung amulet, walang problema yon.
Opo, mas pinakaluma pa po, pero itong controlling decision, yung People versus Placido Mesa, 84 OG 687.
Yeah, pero ano sinasabi doon? Pag live ammo, pero walang intent to possess. Please, paliwanag niyo po.
Kahit po live ammo,
Oh.
walang intent to possess as an ammunition, sabihin hindi pananakit, hindi pamamaril, wala pong criminal
Walang
liability.
criminal liability.
Opo. Opo.
And according to Article 8 of the Civil Code, the Supreme Court decisions form part of the law of the land. Am I
Tama
correct?
po. Napakatama po niyan.
So, Secretary Abaya, please be guided accordingly in making your decision as to that committee. That even if it's a live ammo, according to Justice Acosta, kahit na live siya, pagka walang intent to
Possess as an ammunition or to hurt, to sasaktan o papuputukin.
possess as an ammunition or to intend to use to
Opo.
hurt somebody,
Opo.
kung
Walang
wala
criminal
yun,
liability.
no criminal liability.
Kahit baril pa nga po yan meron ngang isang desisyon na ginamit natin mga piskal, parang pinagawa lang niya, parang tagagawa siya ng baril, taga-repair, dala niya, nahuli siya, pinawalang sala po siya. Dahil
because
wala
he was
siyang
a-
intent to possess.
Yung gunsmith ang tawag doon.
Opo.
Mr. Chair, just on that
Yes,
point,
Senator Cayetano.
that's what I want to clarify kay Secretary. I'm not asking you to give them discretion. They're the investigators. When they find out under their investigation that there's no intent to possess or duda sila na talagang dala niya yon, meaning they suspect baka nga plinanta, it is their duty not to file it sa piskal. You watch all this police and movie, you can watch live yung totoo sa inquest or watch even sa movies. Yung police captain sasabihin sa police, why file it? They will just throw it out. You will waste taxpayers' money. So I'm not asking you to change the rule. I'm saying, some time ago, ang NAIA had a committee and nire-review nila yung investigation. Hindi discretion yon. It's a finding of fact. Their finding and their investigation is that there's no intent to possess at hindi dapat, wag nyo na i-file yung kaso, pasakayin mo na. No? So, anyway, it's all been communicated. Kung ako masusunod, I will not let you leave here until you make a decision because every day na people go to the airport na nagdududa, kawawa empleyado, kawawa yung pupunta doon. You have to give them something, no? Or, or you stand there yourself and say, because, Secretary, excuse me, but, someone has to do the job. Hindi to bago, yung hold up, hindi bago tong tanimbala. But bakit pumutok to during this period? Kung sasabihin yung meron naninira, meron sindikato, di ba't hindi mahuli din? So can we, how long do you need if you can't decide today?
I think, well, Your Honor, maybe we could hear the opinion of General Balagtas, because I think that is his primary role in this, and it's getting his...
Sir Secretary, he already said his opinion a while ago. I asked him if there was a committee. Ayaw lang gawin ng pulis yun dahil baka sila masisi. I asked him if there was a committee and the committee said do not file it. He said they will abide. It is in their manual. Ang manual nila ng investigation ng PNP is that pagka sa investigation nila guilty, i-file. That's why in-example ko kanina yung yung bala nilagay ko sa kanya. Kung nilagay ko ngayon yung bala sa kanya, dumating yung Sergeant at Arms, sa piskalya ka ba dadalhin? Hindi. Magpa-finding yung Sergeant of Arms namin. And nilagay ni Senator Cayetano bakit siya ang dadalhin namin ng piskalya? So it's a finding of fact. But of course, if the finding of the Sergeant of Arms is dala niya and it's So I'm just saying, Secretary, if it's an ordinary investigation, case per case, tama yung nangyayari. Hindi na nga case per case Every single day, ang dami. At may accusation na nga na may modus, merong sindikato, etc. So unless baguhin nyo yung sistema at may remedyo, this will continue. And you want to continue, you made the statement, we assure APEC delegates, walang maplaplanta ng bala sa inyo. I'm sure what you meant was that also OFWs and everyone. But anong interpretasyon namin lahat? Pati ng sa social media tao. Ang interpretasyon namin, pagka taga-APEC, kaya nyo i-guarantee. Pag ordinary tourist at saka ordinary OFW, hindi nyo kayang guarantee. We want to help you. We want to correct that. But it's not gonna happen if you keep the same system right now. That the police feels na basta't may nakita, kailangan i-file. Pero pag nakita ng police, 71 years old, 30 times lumipad, galing sa ganun airport, hindi nakita, hindi. O finding ng police, do not file. Because there's no intent to process, and duda kami yon. O there's a committee that reviews it, para nga walang lagayan. O, wag i-file. O humabol ka na sa flight mo. That's why sinasabi na NAIA, pag international flight, 3 hours before. Para kung may aberya ka, 20-30 minutes, di ba, makakasakay ka pa. Kung late sila, kasalanan nila yon. Pero nandun ka 3 hours before, 2 hours before, you can do that right away.
Pag-aaralan po namin, Mr. Chairman. But again, we just a clarification here. We came from the law school, from the same law school. A specific law doesn't consider good faith or bad faith or intention. That's how I understood it. So for a special law on illegal possession of a live ammo, then I have to study and go back to my books. How does intention come into
Mr.
play?
Chair,
Or it might be
the problem is,
jurisprudence.
Mr. Chair, Secretary, as you said, same law school, may Supreme Court decision ha. Sabi ng Supreme Court decision, pagka special law, you don't need criminal intent, but you still need intent to possess. No? But remember, even sa intent ng possess, kung aaminin niya na hawak niya yung bala, hindi nga niya inaamin eh. Ang sinasabi nga niya, galing ako sa kabilang airport, hindi na-detect, nandito. So the investigator can put that and he can make a judgment. It's not discretion, it's a judgment call, no? But what I'm saying, sir, not case per case. There can be certain cases na he still finds na dapat kasuhan yan. Di natin sinasabi ngayon sa police, pikit mata kayo lahat. Ang sinasabi natin, in most of these cases na mukhang laglag bala, di ba? Give them an out, kaso sa mapunta pa sa piskal, na delay sila ng 2 weeks, yung pangalan nila. Alam mo sa Hong Kong, may cross-checking sila doon eh. Was it Nanay Gloria na napanood nung alaga niya yung hinuhuli siya? So may trauma ngayon eh. So even, Nay?
Opo, sir.
Napanood nung amo nyo?
Yung alaga ko po, umiyak po.
Umiiyak siya. So hindi maintindihan nung bata, criminal ba yung second mother niya, yung yaya niya, or bakit hinuli, inaapi ba? So it's not a simple thing, Secretary, di ba?
I'm sure po si Nanay Gloria is not, she's completely innocent. But pag-aralan po namin mabuti, and I've been coordinating with the USEC DOJ, we'll come up with clear policies to look after our OFWs, but at the same time, avoid and also protect our law enforcers.
Okay. After you come up with a decision, after your study, you said you'll study it, and then you'll come to a decision, please report your decision to the committee.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you.